Well, hi folks, welcome to Matrix Uploaded. My name is Mark Phillips and I'm going to be with you for mathematical literacy. For me, maths literacy is probably one of the most amazing subjects because it is very real world. Unlike mathematics, maths lit will help you to handle business transactions. It'll help you with very real world calculations, things that often mathematicians and things that you study in maths don't really deal with, whereas maths that prepares you for the real world. I absolutely love it. And in this lesson, we're going to be looking at some calculator skills, how to use your calculator. It's a modern age. It's an age of technology. You need to know how to use computers, and you definitely need to know how to use your calculator. So whatever calculator you've got, you need to know how to work that. So what's the very first important thing that we need to look at is know how your calculator works. Guys, there is no ways that you can approach maths lit without being able to know how your calculator works. There are many on the market, and you need to know exactly how to deal with your calculator. So let's practice a few basic skills with the calculator. The first thing is, let's have a look at an example. Now, normally what you would do in primary school or even the earlier years, grade 8 and 9, you would be expected to do this without using a calculator. But now, if you had to do this with a calculator, you've just got to know how to work with your fraction button. Now, I'm going to write this down and I'm going to show you how we approach this. If we have a look at 2 1/7 plus 3/10 times 4 cubed, how do we deal with this when we use a calculator? Now, I'm going to go to a specific calculator here and show you how to deal with working out fractions on the calculator. Now, if you have a look at your calculator, we're going to put in the fraction 2 1/7. Now, how I do it here, I'm going to go Shift, and I get my fraction button up there. Look at that. That's a nice fraction button here. Now, what we do is we put in 2. Now, watch what I'm doing. Scroll across 1 and down to 7. It's very important to be able to use your calculator correctly. Many calculators have the fraction button, so let's use it. Now, let's continue. Now, don't forget to scroll across. Here we go. Then we go plus. Now, we're going to go the fraction 3/10. So let's go. Open the bracket, the fraction button there, 3/10. Okay, scroll across. Then we're going to multiply by 4. Now, raise it. Go raise that to the power 3. And then if we scroll across, we've got our exact calculation in, and if we push equals, we're going to land up with 747 divided by 35. Okay, and that's great because that's an improper fraction, but your calculator can convert it to a decimal, or in fact it can make it into a proper fraction. This is a bit improper, so let's have a look. Now, if you push S to D, okay, S to D, it'll give you a decimal. Or alternatively, if you go Shift and you press the fraction button there, you will find that you actually come out with 21 12 over 35. So let's have a look at the 3 possible answers. If we look at the slide, what we've got is this. We've got 747 over 35, 21 12 over 35, and then your decimal. Now, notice the decimal is the full decimal. We're not rounding off yet. Okay, so be very careful with that. Use your calculator to get to know how to do it. Okay, let's look at another example. Have a look at this guy with square roots and fourth roots. Okay, now you've got that on the slide there. Let's go to the calculator and let's plug it in there. Okay, so we're going to open the square root button. There we go, square root to open the fraction. So we've got 56 divided by 6. Your calculator is beautiful because it does the whole thing from left to right. Then we go plus, Shift. We want to get to open that button, the fourth root of the decimal, 0.123. Now, once you've got that in, you just make sure you've done it correctly. There we've got 3,958 going on, the decimal, or if you push SD, it's not going to work now. You keep it in decimal forms, it's not going to be the fraction that you want. Okay, now let's have a look on the slide. There we go. That's 3,95. You have got it there. I'm not rounding off at this stage unless they ask me specifically to round off to 2 decimals. We're going to be looking at that. Okay, the next example is BODMAS. Very important. You remember BODMAS is brackets of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So if we apply that in example 3, have a look at this. I'm gonna follow the rules of BODMAS. Brackets of means multiply, D for division, M multiplying, A for add and S for subtract. You do it in that order. Now your calculator is brilliant because it actually does it for you. But let's follow the logic and see how it works. If you look at this example 3, what we know, we can subtract, add, divide, and add again. Now if you follow this through, have a look here. You're first going to do the brackets. Okay, then you're gonna work out 3 times 3, which is 3 squared, which comes to 9. Okay, now we do the divide next, okay, which is 5, 5. If you divide 55 by 10, and gives you this thing, which is 128,5. You can, of course, use a calculator. It follows left to right very beautifully there. Okay, so it's quite important. Look at the 4th example. Again, if we use a calculator, we can do this exact, or you just follow the BODMAS, the rules of brackets, and there you go. Now watch out, if you times 4 9ths by that, you get this here, and then of course you do the divide next. Here we go, and off you go, and then you divide these. I've simply used a calculator, which is this, and you can get that version or the decimal version. So guys, watch out for this. You can just get used to your calculators. In the next lesson, we're going to come back and do some more wonderful maths literacy, so don't go away.